I've already called the budget committee meeting to order. We've set our pledge. As you can see, we have a quorum. I see a couple of new faces here. I thought it might be a good idea just to start at the end of the table there. Oops. How about this end? One missing. Just to mention your names.
I'm Gordon Hunt.
Ted.
Pike.
Carla Lutens.
Helen Hartshorn.
Chip Wallaby.
And the person sitting in that seat when he comes back will be John Libby. Okay. Wait until he comes back. We'll embarrass him. What I'm going to do tonight is just start by, and if you haven't grabbed one, there are copies up here of the budget. I'm just going to go through it, then we'll do warrant articles and graphs and anticipated revenue. Got those readers out there? Yep. Okay, I'm going to start with executive. That is number 4130. And let me also say that, wow, we went through this budget with a fine-tooth comb. I think we had more revisits and reconsiderations than any other time when I've been on the budget committee anyway. But it was good. It was helping, lots of debate. This year, we're budgeting for $99,630. We voted 6-1 on this one. It includes some clerical assistant for cross-training and right-to-know requests. There's also 3 elections and a town meeting, so that covers our moderator costs. Do you have any questions? I'm just going to go right on through, so if you do have questions, you let me know. Number 4140 is elections, registration, vital stats. And it was on 10/25/17 that we gave our final vote on this one. It's $84,528. This one, we had one person absent, so it's 5-1. 1 against and 5-4. Next is 4150. And it was on 12/14/17 that we voted on this one. This includes mapping from Mylar to digital. And it also includes, I also wanted to mention that our online public access to supply tax cards and mapping to the public is going to be done. We voted 7-0 in the amount of $137,015. And now, number 4152, we voted 11/21/17, 7-0, in the amount of $46,372. And I also wanted to mention that we're in the middle of a contract with this assessor, and that he does take appointments. Anybody needs to get in touch. Joe.
Carl, because I must have been out of the room when you guys did this. I just want to back up one thing. In the selectmen's allowance, once upon a time I thought it was there, and I thought Tyler Phillips had made it $5 grand. And I see it's $4 grand across the board. Is that a error? Did something happen?
No, it is 2 selectmen at 5,000, Sheridan gets 53,000. So that line is at.
No.
Would you say that again?
Okay, that line is 4130-04130. And 2 selectmen get 5,000.
410. I see 4150.
What run do you have?
Just take it off the table here. Page 2,
This is on page
2-08.
on page 1.
Karen, can you help me with this
It's
one?
on page
Okay, did you
1.
say you're in 4130?
No, I'm in 4150 under Selectmen's Allowance.
That's the allowance, that's not their, pay.
Yeah,
That's their allowance
First page.
for what?
we're on the first page. That's what they get for,
Okay, so the thing I just mentioned is, what's the extra $4,000 for?
is that mileage or?
Conferences, mileage.
Okay, I was just curious, okay?
Yeah.
And, you know, that's what we're here for, to ask questions, right?
That's right, you're right.
Not that they don't deserve it.
Yeah, what we're talking about is the one on the first page.
Yeah, okay, all right, thank you.
Say 15,300. What's this? Total.
The total. Yeah, okay. Where was I? I'd like to see, remember.
Legally.
Evaluation of property. Just one on the legal.
Did I do assessor? Yes, I did. Okay, for, on number 4153, legal expenses. And I did want to know that this year, it shows a departmental breakdown for you to see on the form. We voted on 11/21/17, 42,800, and the vote was 5-2. Any questions? Okay. Personnel administration. This is 4155. We voted a couple of times on this one. But the last final vote was 11618, 5-1, and we had a person that came in late and wasn't able to vote. So the vote will stand at 5-1 in the amount of $588,545. And I'm going to ask Chip to say something about this one, because healthcare is always, that's a tough one for us. And Chip was able to significantly reduce the cost for us. Do you want to talk about that a little bit, Chip?
Well, we did explore different policies with different companies. And we're able to cut our expense by $76,000. But in order to do that, and we have to work with our employees, we had to increase their our participation in their healthcare, town participation. But we still were able to have a net savings of quite a lot of money. I think it ended up 50,000.
Yeah, right around there. So, and I know you guys will keep working on it every year.
We will. There's a
Because
difference.
the tough part about dealing with an insurance company is they'll bend over backwards to get you in, but who knows what next year will bring. None of us do. So.
Right, we had explored the idea of putting together a $50,000 capital reserve fund to take some of the sting out of future healthcare increases. But given the extent of all the other needs in the town, we put that out for a year.
Thank you, Skip, Skip, it's Chip. Okay, we're moving to planning and zoning. On 11618, we voted 6-0 on this. Again, we had someone that came in late and wasn't able to vote. The main increase on this one is that we did not, by accident, last year's master plan dollars were not encumbered for 618s, or for 218, so we're adding that in. Any questions there? Okay, number 4194, general government buildings. And this one, We voted on 1/2/18/6/1. One individual felt that mowing should go out to bid more often. The next one is 4195 cemeteries. On 2/6/18 was our final vote, 7-0 in the amount of $21,300. This will include a nice fireproof file cabinet to keep everything in. And I also wanted to say bravo to this department. They managed to get a lovely anonymous donation that will go a long ways, especially with the French Cemetery. Number 4196, insurance. This is workman's comp and casualty insurance. On 12/14/17, we voted 7-0 in the amount of $62,708. Next is other general government. This includes the safety committee and capital improvement committee. On 10/11/16, we voted 7-0, the amount of $500. Police department is next, number 4210. We voted on 11/21/17, 6-1, in the amount of $391,844. The increase is due to salaries. They're going to be buying some equipment, new rifles, for instance, and a new solar speed sign that collects data and also warns drivers. And the police department does need a new computer, new server install and set up. So that explains those increases. The next one is 4215. This is our ambulance contract. On 10/25/18, we voted 5-1. One was against and one person was not present. We're in the third year of a 3-year contract. Next year it will go out to bid. And the amount is $188,036. Moving on to the fire department, number 4220. On 10/25/17, we voted 5-1, one against and one person absent, in the amount of $437,617.24. Sue?
I noticed on the salaries,
I'm sorry?
the officers' salaries, we spent $107,000, but the request is $133 essentially. And
Where
also,
are you?
aren't we on the fire department?
Okay,
The second line on the fire department. Last year, the budget was 129.5, and they spent 107, but now it's bumping to 132.9.
we could ask Adam to explain that. Was it that holiday pay and that kind of thing wasn't paid until the end and we haven't taken care of that? Or can you
No,
explain that line for us?
as far as with officer salary, that includes the full-time person they have. That also includes his overtime. That includes the call officers. So it all depends on how much they come out to different calls and things like that. I calculate out a certain amount as far as trying to look back from years to what people respond out to. If some of the people that are more active normally are not so active, then there would be money left over because they didn't come out, they didn't use it. If it was a really busy year and, you know, we had multiple calls that were over, you know, hours apiece, it would use up more. It all depends on that. Obviously there is a salary increase in this, and that, as far as our budget this year, the bulk of everything was where our budget went up 1.1%, I believe. And most of those lines were under the salary sides of things as far as the department was.
And I think what Sue was asking was, you actually expended $107,243.
Right.
And
I never
requested
know
the
how much I'm
132.
gonna spend.
Okay.
I have to calculate out,
Depends
I
on the
have to
call.
make the adjustments for the salary increases. Obviously, that brings the line up. I never know what I'm gonna spend up until the end of the year, and we're already well into budget season, before I know what is spent at the end of the year.
Did that help answer your question, Sue?
I guess.
Okay.
I know it didn't, as far as it goes.
Well, and what you're saying is that, I think what I'm figuring out is that last year, there weren't as many calls as normal.
Well, there was calls, but they didn't, you know, some of them, you know, some years, there may be calls that take 6 or 7 hours, you know, as far as structure fires and things like that. Depending on who comes out on those, depends on where the money comes out of, whether it comes out of the firefighter side or if it comes out of the officer side. If I don't have, you know, officers, you know, the bulk of the officers at all the calls, I'm not gonna use up all the money. The money gets turned back.
There's also a jump between what you spend and what you're requesting on the shift coverage. Is that affected by the calls?
Yes. As far as, it can be, or as far as how much shift coverage that we do. There is a small amount of raise as far as the amount that it goes up as far as what amount that we go by. You know, the highest paid person in the department for fire department side.
And I think you made a good point. It's not really the number of calls, it's how many hours you are out per call
Right.
that really drives the cost.
But as far as shift coverage, there is one person that does about 16 hours of shift coverage a week in the department. One day he covers for Caleb, another day he covers for me, and then he fills in other ways as far as department-wise. But we try to separate that out to get a good understanding of how much is actually being used. There are some other people that do shift coverage, and it would all come out of that different area. Yes.
Adam, could you just explain for people, maybe including myself, who don't understand what shift coverage is?
Shift coverage is that if I was off, if I'm off on a Thursday,
Like it's your day off, or
yeah,
like that,
day
yeah.
off, someone takes that spot.
Or you get
Caleb's,
sick, or
Caleb's off on a Friday, I have a second person that is working with me. So there's usually 2 people that work during the day. Caleb works from 7 to 5, and I'm usually, you know, anywhere from 8:30 to 5 or 5:30. So that there is 2 people working during the day, Monday through Friday.
And I know Adam is really good, he goes into the Board of Selectmen on a pretty regular basis with those stats.
And during the summertime, we try to put, you know, someone at least one person in the station on one of the weekend days, so that if anyone's looking for information or needs anything, fire permits and stuff like that, that would be under a shift coverage type of thing. It all depends on who we have available that would want to do it.
Well, thank you for keeping it at 1.1% increase. Okay, any other questions for Adam?
So, I'm sorry, just to clarify, like, say for instance, you always take Thursday off because
Yeah.
it's your weekend. The person filling in for you is not necessarily the same person every Thursday. It's like different people depending on who's available.
It depends on who's available.
Yeah.
Right now, the person that's doing most of it is Skip Galvin. He's a paramedic that's retired from Exeter and lives on Butternut Lane. So chances are, Monday and Thursday and Friday, it would be him.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we're going to move on then to 4240, building inspection. And we had a little bit of an increase in vehicle maintenance, and we'll talk about that a little bit more, but Jack is having significant difficulty with his truck. You'll hear about it, like I said, more when we talk about warrant articles. But yeah, quite a bit of repair. So on 2618, we voted 7-0 in the amount of $62,597. Moving on to emergency management. On 10/25/17, we voted 6-0. We again had one person out. We voted in the amount of $15,630. Moving on to highways and streets.
Question.
Oh, yes.
Back up for a second to building inspection. Can
Yeah.
anybody explain to me why if the department head requests $1,000, why does the selectman give him $2,000?
Under vehicle maintenance?
Vehicle maintenance, yeah.
The original request was for $1,000, and then we came up with some significant problems with the code officer's truck involving the gas tank and a number of other things. So he's already spent his budget for the year repairing his old truck.
Okay, but there's still a warrant article regarding the truck on top of the
Yeah,
$1,000?
but we had to pay these repair bills, and we don't have a new truck yet. So there will be a warrant article that I'll read later about a new truck. Anything else on that one?
No.
No? Okay. So highways and streets, that's number 4130. On 2618, we voted 7-0 in the amount of $13,000. Oh, wait a minute, I skipped one, didn't I? Let's back up to 43112. Regular highways and streets. On 12/14/17, we voted 5-2. One individual discussed about departmental waste, and another just thought the increase was too large. Majority voted for the amount of $452,600. There's a big increase in spring, fall, and summer lines. You can see they also provided additional funds for selectmen suggested for crack repair. We talked a lot about those horrible storms that we had. In addition, the dump truck body on the 10-wheeler needs refurbishing, so that accounts pretty much for all those costs. Now we'll move to 4132, other highway and streets.
Carl, is that
Yeah.
the old 10-wheeler or not the new one you just bought?
The new one, because it was a used, the back part of it was used.
The dumb body, yeah.
That's the one that we bought the new one to replace.
No,
This
no.
is, this is the
This is the
10-wheeler
new
that we
truck.
authorized at town meeting. We actually authorized $150,000 to replace the six-wheeler. Jimmy found a 10-wheeler for $175,000. New body, new chassis, all that, used body. And that's the used body that needs to be worked on now.
How old is that?
The body,
Well, the body, I don't know how old the body is.
How
but
long have we had
But the
that
truck itself is new.
2 years.
The chassis is new, but the body was, who knows?
And just the dump.
They gave us the.
So this is the new one?
No, but they paid it to us very reasonably.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good deal at the time, but now we need to take care of it. So, again, that amount was $452,600. So other highway and streets, that's 4132, in the amount of $13,000.
By the way, so that new one, the one that needs work, just so everybody knows, that broke down in front of my house about 3 weeks ago.
Okay,
And it was there for like 4 hours at least. And it was one of the days like after a snowstorm, so it wasn't, luckily it wasn't in the middle of a snowstorm, but they were going around cleaning up afterwards. But just so you know, so that's part of this repair work, I guess.
no.
Something else.
That must be something else. It must have something to do with, there were some little screw clips that cost about 25 cents that needed to be replaced. So,
Oh, that's,
just had to get, there was just a
that's lucky.
that was very lucky. Okay, moving right along. If you
This
have
one
any
also got
questions,
stuck
just
in a-
raise your hand if you want to say
Yeah,
it.
this one also got stuck in a ditch on Phineas Graves Road about a week ago.
What's that?
It also got stuck in the ditch on Phineas
Okay.
Graves.
But we're here to talk about the budget.
Yeah,
You know I love you, Max,
Yeah.
but
well, I don't think that's true.
I'm being nice, Max.
You're not a very nice person. I don't think you're a very nice person.
Max, we're here to talk about the budget, please.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that was the one we just were talking about in the amount of 13,000. That's going to include putting it out with HEB, the bidding, because Sodom Road Bridge is in dire need of repair. There's a weight limit on it currently that we're all very worried about, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that bridge when we get to warrant articles as well. So that is in the amount of 13,000. Moving on to solid waste, 4324. Oh, I wish Clay was here because we voted 261870 in the amount of $375,522. And we have purchased a new, what's called a snow box for him to move snow around. There's also significant increase in MSW, C&D, and closure monitoring. But the great thing I want to say about the solid waste department is their revenue. It's well over $100,000 this year. And if Clay was here, he'd be able to discuss avoided costs. There's another about $35,000 in avoided costs. And
Actually, his total, his total number, his total breakdown in avoided costs this year was $135,677.
Yep, that's our net.
That's the avoided cost and the revenue generated by the facility.
So that's
not too shabby.
He's doing a great job. Recycle everyone. All right. Moving on to 4414, animal control. On 1 to 18, we voted 7-0. There's a slight decrease. in this line over what we, or under what we spent last year. And it comes out to 1,750. We last year budgeted 2,000, but we didn't spend near that, so.
Excuse me, Carla?
Yes.
Sorry, going back to Clay, sorry you didn't see my hand, and the revenue. Is that a culmination of all the revenues for the transfer station? Are there any, is the recycling program making money?
Yeah, we're doing.
Yes, he breaks it down.
He does. So all the programs are generating, none of them are negative?
Electronics is a negative because the state mandates how we dispose of our electronics, and plastics as well.
So, okay, so that's a net of everything. So some are running at a negative, but some are running at a positive. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
All right. Health agencies. That is number 4415. On 1/2/2018, we voted 6-1. One person voted against, indicating that perhaps more documentation was needed. 6 of us voted for $39,706.
What type of documentation?
I'm sorry. Can you speak up a little?
What type of documentation?
Each agency gives us usually documentation as to how many residents in our community they serve. And this individual wanted more documentation. The rest of us thought there was enough. So.
Is that you, John? So this particular agency, they had said that they didn't help anybody in Tufton Borough?
No, I don't think it was that they didn't help anybody in Tufton Borough. I just voted against giving money, our tax dollars, I guess, to these specific nonprofits without knowing how we determine what we're going to give them. So that it wasn't what they gave us, it's what we use to determine who gets what.
And it's based on what they ask for. They send us a letter asking for a certain amount, and they show us what they've done for the community, and then we vote yes or no. We do have 2 agencies. Well, Medication Bridge, which was a great organization, they didn't need our money this year. So they said, we don't need anything from you. And was it the Appalachian? Mountain. They're defunct now, so they don't carry it. And the good thing about Blue Moon, about our transportation, is they are changing the way they do services now. It's going to be more door-to-door. I know we've had some conversations about, we give them $3,000. Conway gives them $3,000, but Conway gets to use them more. But, if you know of someone that needs a ride,